You're born in the 6th century AD in a place called Constantinople, the shining jewel of the Byzantine Empire. And honestly, you and your mother are lucky, because surviving the birth in this era is basically beating medieval roulette. 8 days later, a priest dunks your head in holy water and calls it a baptism. Congratulations, you've just unlocked the officially alive achievement. But luck doesn't last. By age 2, your mother dies. You don't understand death yet. You just notice she stopped coming back. You remember a lot of people crying, everyone wearing black, and the house suddenly feeling colder. A year later, you start seeing someone new. A young woman, soft voice, sweet smile, always bringing candy. And since you're a kid, candy is basically love. Then one day your dad makes the announcement. He's marrying her. You're thrilled. Your child brain thinks, this is it, permanent candy access. But good things don't last long around here, because a year later, she gives birth to a baby boy, your half-brother, and your world tilts. Your dad stops noticing you entirely. You tell yourself it's just the excitement. It'll pass. It doesn't. Your stepmother now looks at you like you're something she stepped in, and acts like it too. She finds excuses to hit you. First it's yelling, then it's a slap, then whatever's nearby. At first, it's just smaller portions, a missing loaf. Then one day, she decides you don't deserve food at all. And your father, he doesn't argue. As long as his precious baby boy, the one who isn't you, is well fed, your suffering is background noise. Weeks go by. The neighbors slip you bread, dried figs, whatever they can spare. Not out of duty, just out of pity. But pity runs out fast. Turns out feeding someone else's kid wasn't in their long-term budget. So eventually, the scraps stop. And there you are, alone, hungry, wondering what invisible crime you committed to make your own father hate you this much. You even try begging, not for food, but for forgiveness. But the truth hits hard. There's nothing to forgive. They just don't care. That's when the idea takes root. Quiet at first, then louder. Steal. You hate the word, but hunger doesn't care about morality. You start small, picking coins that drunks drop at the tavern, snagging bread from market stalls when no one's looking. And when someone is looking, you run. You once heard a thief had his hand chopped off for stealing figs. You never found out if it was true, but the thought still keeps you fast. Soon, you know every alley, every shadow, every corner of the market where you can vanish. You stop being a starving boy. You start being a survivor. Time passes. Your half-brother grows strong, fed, loved, worshipped, while you grow into something else entirely. A thief, a street rat with fast hands and faster legs. A nameless shadow slipping through the cracks of a city too busy to care. By 15, you're not just another street kid. You're the teenage kingpin of Constantinople, backed by a network of killers, smugglers, and corrupt soldiers. The kind of people who'd stab each other over a half-eaten fig. But you've stopped caring. Survival turned into hustle. Hustle turned into lifestyle. Morality? That's a bedtime story people tell themselves so they can sleep at night. And for a while, it works. You're untouchable. Until karma catches your scent. Or maybe it wasn't karma. Maybe it was someone watching. You feel it. You vanish into an alley. Footsteps behind you. You duck low, behind crates. They pass. Guards. You're safe for now. Then a voice beside you. You're getting sloppy. It's one of your old contacts. A kingpin. The kind who always knows too much. You ask how he stays ahead. He grins, pulls a cloth aside, and behind it, a strange device glows. It's called Surfshark VPN. You stare, confused. He chuckles. Think of it like a cloak. It hides where you are, what you do, encrypts everything, even on sketchy public Wi-Fi. Want better prices on goods? Trick the merchants into thinking you live somewhere else. And it works on unlimited devices. One account protects everything. Phone, tablet, scroll, whatever you've got. What happens if I don't like it? 30-day money-back guarantee. Click the link below or go to surfshark.com/sticktory for an extra 4 months. Last night, after years of clean runs, you get sloppy, and you don't get caught by some old fruit vendor. You get caught by guards, the real ones, with armor and clubs. They beat the hell out of you in the street. Then they paraded you through the city, bruised, bleeding, wrists bound. so everyone can see exactly what you are: a thief. You'd think that would be the worst part. It's not, because when you limp back home, barely standing, your father finally decides to acknowledge your existence. Not with comfort, not with shame, but with orders. You're going to work his farms. Apparently, breaking your back under the sun is his cure for thievery. Solid parenting, really. You don't argue. You're too tired. But the part that breaks you isn't the labor. It's watching your half-brothers eat grapes and laugh while you're wrist-deep in dirt. They live like sons. You live like a stray dog. And every day, that hate inside you grows a little darker. But farm life, it comes with perks. You've got access now to food, to tools, to harvests. So naturally, you do what any reasonable X-Street kingpin would do. You steal from your own father. You ship out the goods using your old network and make more money behind your father's back than you ever did on the street. Business is good. Until one afternoon, you're resting in the shade beneath a fig tree, sweat drying on your skin, and you see him, your half-brother, strolling up with that same smirk he's had since birth. You already know how this script goes. The same tired lines. Dad says you're useless. Everyone knows you're a thief, blah, blah, blah. You've heard it 100 times, so you ignore him. But then he mentions your mother, and something inside you just snaps. You don't think. You don't breathe. Your hand finds the nearest rock, warm from the sun. Before your mind can stop you, it crashes down on his skull. Once, twice, again. The world narrows. The sound of bone cracking drowns out everything else, even your heartbeat. When it finally stops, there's just silence. You look down. He's not moving. You drop the rock. For a long, frozen second, you just stand there, staring at your hands, trembling, wet, heavy with something you can't wash away. The anger that's carried you all these years, gone. All that's left is the cold crawl of fear down your spine. You've killed him. Then panic hits like a punch to the gut. That wild, breathless kind that whispers, "You've gone too far." Two options form in your head: hide the body or run. Hide it and maybe no one finds out. But if they do, congratulations, you've just unlocked the public execution achievement. Running means guilt, but at least guilt is alive. You choose to run. You scrub your hands on your tunic, shove a few things into a sack, and wait until the city goes dark. When the streets finally darken, you slip away. Small, low, practiced at vanishing. At the city gate, everything that's been loud in your head gets loud in the world. Guard dogs. You should be invisible. You should be fine. Instead, you feel them before you see them. Eyes on you, the kind of look that makes your skin crawl. Way too many of them. You turn to back away, but it's too late. They move in. You try to run, but you've done this long enough to know when you've already lost. Chains bite into your wrists. They drag you through the streets, the same streets you once ruled, and toss you to the city prison like yesterday's trash. And that's when you understand why everyone fears this place. It smells like rot, death, and broken people. The air sticks to your skin. Somewhere in the dark, someone's screaming, or maybe laughing. Hard to tell the difference anymore. The guards don't just guard, they play. They just beat you until you stop screaming. Then they chain you to a wall in a room packed with 20 men who look like they've been rotting since the empire was founded. Welcome to your new home. The next day, the eparch, basically the Byzantine Empire's mix of police chief, judge, and part-time executioner, sends his men to investigate. And by investigate, I mean beat you until you confess to crimes you didn't even commit yet. For 2 straight days, you're questioned, punched, and whipped until pain becomes rhythm. Eventually, you confess to everything. Honestly, at that point, you'd admit to stealing the moon just to make it stop. The prison still doesn't feed you. That's not the state's job here. That's family business. And since your family unsubscribed from that plan a long time ago, you live off whatever scraps other prisoners toss your way. Sometimes out of pity, sometimes just to watch you crawl. 4 days later, they drag you out to face the eparch himself. He listens to the guards, glances at your bruises, hears your confession. A few witnesses who don't even know you, and that's it. Case closed. You're guilty. Then he says it. Death. You freeze. You expected punishment, a flogging, maybe years chained to some wall, but death? That feels heavy. Didn't the church preach mercy? Apparently, that part doesn't apply to you. When they shove you back into your cell, you're met by someone you've never thought you'd see again, your father. He stands there quietly, staring at the floor like the stones are more deserving of his attention than you are. For the first time in years, you really look at him. The hollow cheeks, the tired eyes, the guilt sitting on his shoulders like it's been there all along. You want to scream at him, tell him this is his fault, that maybe if he'd looked at you, loved you, seen you, you wouldn't be standing on death's doorstep. But the words don't make it out. They just burn in your chest. He finally turns and walks away. No words, no goodbye. Just the echo of footsteps fading into the dark. And that's the part that breaks you. Not the torture, not the sentence, the silence. 2 days later, the guards come. They don't say a word as they drag you out of your cell. The chains bite your wrists. The crowd follows at a distance. Quiet, curious, ready to watch a life end before lunch. Outside the city gates waits your stage, a rough wooden block. You're forced to kneel, your neck pressed to the wood. A priest murmurs one last prayer and steps back. The executioner draws his sword, long, curved, and catching the gray light. Your breath catches with it. This is it. No escape, no miracle, no second chance. You start to cry, to beg. You promise to change, to repent, to live differently if they just let you breathe one more minute. But mercy doesn't live here. The law doesn't see the child who lost his mother. It doesn't see the boy who starved, or the teenager who only ever wanted his father to look at him. It sees a murderer, and it wants him gone. The sword falls, one clean strike. Silence. Then the dull sound of your head hitting the ground. Your body headless, folded into the dirt. The crowd hesitates. A few whispers, a few signs of the cross. Then they drift away, satisfied. Your body is buried outside the walls. No name, no prayer, no marker. Just another ghost under the dirt. The records follow, wiped clean, like you never existed at all. And that's the cruelest part. You were born in a city where you could have been anything. A trader, a craftsman, maybe even something good. But fate had other plans. It took your mother, gave you another who hated you, pushed you into the streets, taught you how to steal just to survive. And when you finally made one mistake you couldn't undo, it made sure that mistake would be your last.